We have a few moments left in the debates, and we now ask for some closing thoughts. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to give their closing presentation. Since Representative Cox was the second to open, he is the first to close. Representative Cox?
I think one of the things that I said earlier on has shown itself to be true tonight. There are two different approaches to how we're going to continue governing in Pennsylvania. We have taken a lot of positive steps forward since the party that I represent and the individuals I represent. I'm taking your ideas to Harrisburg, and we are accomplishing goals. We're reducing taxes for businesses. We are putting business tax reform in place. We're lowering regulations. We're creating an environment where not only businesses can thrive, but those businesses can then hire individuals like people sitting in this very room. They can hire, those individuals can then have a job, they can thrive, and they can be a contributing member of society. Unfortunately, not everyone approaches this from the same direction. My opponent this evening kept on saying things like big government, and seems to somehow believe that I advocate for that, when what I would like to do is get government out of the way so you can keep your money and you can choose to spend it however you wish, so you can choose to hire employees if you're a business owner, so you can thrive, because that is how our economy will continue to grow. And it's business owners who employ people, not the government. Government does not create jobs, and that's a distinction I think you've probably seen this evening. Secondly, there's a lot of talk about reducing mandates and getting government out of the way when it comes to the school districts, and yet Mr. Saar seemed to forget the fact that one of his more recent campaign contribution reports, of the roughly $10,000 he got, about $9,000, maybe a little bit more, came from labor unions. Labor unions oppose the #1 cost driver for school districts, for townships and boroughs, for government as a whole, and that's prevailing wage. For every $1 million spent in costs for construction or for other things that school districts have to go through purchasing, the school district has to pay an extra 30% on average to build that building or to accomplish the goal that they've accomplished, because of prevailing wage, which is supported by those who've given the most to his campaign. I am a party of individuals. My campaign reports will show that I've gotten $20,000 from individuals, some businesses, but mostly individuals.
I want to again say thank you to Alvernia University and to Christian and the Home Builders Association for hosting tonight. I do want to respond simply to that interesting accusation, because we didn't talk about prevailing wage tonight, and you might be surprised to learn I'm for pro-business ideas, and I haven't made any promises that regarding what we would do to save costs for school budgets, so I'll just leave it at that. But you know, I was going door to door recently and meeting voters in the 129th, and I met this woman, and she had me at her door, and she said, listen, she said, I want to talk to you for a second. She said she lived with her mother, who she was taking care of. Her husband worked 2 jobs, and she's been in and out of jobs. And she didn't have much, and she was in a place where you could tell that she struggled to make ends meet. And she looked me in the eye, and she said, with tears in her eyes, she said, you know, people, this political stuff where everybody keeps talking about things, people think that I'm the kind of person who wants a check. But you know what? I really just want an opportunity. And the fact of the matter is, Representative Cox and I have sharp disagreements. I actually think the government should have a role in creating an environment where there's opportunity. And I think first and foremost, the allegiance, if I'm honored to win this position, is to the constituents and the people and the businesses of the 129th. So I will put the people of this area above party politics. I'd be happy to stand with Republicans on legislation that makes sense for jobs in our area, for tax cuts, for a sound education system. And likewise, I'll also work with Democrats or independents, whoever's there. And that's going to be my approach if I'm honored to go to Harrisburg. I want to again say thank you, most importantly, to the members of the community tonight, because what I find is really important in our community, and what I'm astonished with, is how much people dig in, care about the issues, and most importantly, which is what I want, and I think is probably what Mr. Cox wants, which is a healthy economy where our kids can have opportunity, where jobs can grow, and we have justice in our community. And I want to say thank you again for the opportunity tonight.
Thank you, Representative Cox. Thank you, Mr. Saar. This was certainly a great debate. I hope you all agree. It's not easy to look a voter in the eye and do what you just did, to look each other in the eye, and we certainly appreciate the time that you've given to the citizens. The choice is now yours. Election day is right around the corner. I'm sure both of these gentlemen will meet you in the back of the room or out in the lobby if you'd like to talk with them individually. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen.